All right, super champions. So let's get started now. And welcome to Beginners Academy 3. And this is a series of 4 trainings. So this is the third one, and then we've got one more to go. And Beginners Academy aims at introducing someone to, first of all, understanding, what's in forever, understanding what is in store for you, and also understanding the marketing plan, and knowing how to maximize the marketing plan, uncovering the marketing plan so that you can maximize the opportunity, because it's indeed your dream, our plan. Yes, we have a plan, but when you come in with your dream, then you'll know how best to use the marketing plan. And let me just take you back a little bit. We began with Beginners Academy 1, which focused on first introducing you to some of the very, very powerful tools that Forever gives you. Some of them are for free. We've got some free apps that we can just download and use. And then our Beginners Academy 1 also focus on introducing you to some of the systems that you can pay for extra, but they give you lots and lots and lots of benefits, like FLP 360. And also Beginners Academy 1 aimed at taking you all the way to the level of assistant supervisor on the marketing plan. And then we went on to Beginner Academy 2, which was last week. And it's one of my favorite, I must say, Beginners Academy 2, because it starts to unlock the true potential of the marketing plan. Beginners Academy 2 aims at now showing you how you can grow your business all the way to manager and the benefits that come along with it when you get to manager. Now, Beginners Academy 3 picks where Beginners Academy 2 left and takes it a step higher. Beginner Academy 3 focuses on introducing you to the most important things that you need to focus on if you want to maximize this opportunity. If you want to maximize Forever, of course, these are the main things to do. Use the products, share the products, share the opportunity, and be 4CC active. If you remember Beginner Academy 1, we talked about how important it is for you to be 4CC active right from assistant supervisor. And then the fifth thing, what is the fifth thing that you need to do if you want to maximize? Remember, we're talking about maximizing here. We are talking about making and getting and reaping the most out of Forever. We are not talking about just scratching the surface of Forever. No, we are talking about what is it that you need to do to get to the core, to get to the cream of Forever. What is the fifth thing after using the products and sharing the products, which is retailing, sharing the opportunity, which is recruiting, 4CC active? What is the fifth thing? The fifth thing is going for incentives. And Beginner Academy 3 will start to introduce you to some of the incentives that Forever offers. And today, I'm going to focus actually a little bit more on one, not just one actually. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the most important incentive in Forever. We've got lots of incentives, but there's one which is the most important. Now, when you think about these incentives, when you think about the marketing plan of Forever for over 40 years now, 40 years of not just hanging in there. No, it's 40 years of really growing, 40 years of massive growth. When you think about it that way, what made Forever to be this successful? What made Forever to be this successful? I'll tell you, one of the reasons why Forever has managed to continue growing is because it offers a marketing plan which can fit into anyone's dreams and vision. Whatever dream you have, Forever can manage it. Whatever dream you have, Forever can make it come true. Now, before we talk about dreams, before we talk about all the crazy big things that we want, one of the most important things that I will advise you to do, especially as you want to start going for incentives, because incentives, they unlock the biggest part of Forever. Incentives, you understand? Before you start going that direction, I want you to think about why are you going for incentives? Why are you trying to maximize the Forever opportunity? Because when you join in, the first thing that's going to be pushing you is your needs. your needs. And your needs are the things that you need them desperately. And most of the times, needs are things that are tied to challenges. Needs are things that are tied to things that you don't love or you are not happy with currently. Maybe you're not happy with your income. Maybe you're not happy with your job. Maybe you're not happy with all the debts you have. Maybe you're not happy with your lifestyle. Maybe you're not happy with where you live. Maybe you're not happy with the car, or you don't have a car at all. So when you join the business, the first thing that normally gives us the energy to push the business is our needs. Now, somewhere along the way, you will actually tackle most of your needs. Somewhere along the way, you'll be having a decent income. You'll be going for holidays here and there. Maybe you'll manage to even, quit your job and go full-time forever and still make more than your salary. It is so easy, by the way, to make more than our salaries because our salaries are normally quite small. Maybe joining the business and you're using public transport and you manage now to buy your car. And of course, the first car is normally very, very modest. We understand that. Now you have your needs now taken care of. Now that's where most people lose it in forever. That is where most people lose it in forever. That is where the catch is. If you will continue to only think about your needs and forget about starting to set bigger goals and bigger dreams for yourself, most likely you will settle for less in forever. So it has to reach a point whereby you are no longer driven by your needs. You're no longer driven by the things that you hate or the things that you want to see changing. No, but you're now driven by the big things. And these are what we call your wants. And when I think about forever, you can take care of your needs. Most likely, if you get to manager, most of the times you will take care of all your needs. If you get to manager, almost all your needs will be taken care of. But if you want now to start going an extra mile, if you want to not just build a home, but if you want to have a luxurious home, if you want not just to travel, but you want to travel 5-star, if you want not just a car, but your dream car. I mean, if you want to get to a point whereby, you can wake up in the morning in your nice big mansion and not having to go anywhere to work, instead you'll be there at home, work from home, enjoy your home, you have that time freedom. If you want to get to that level, then we need to start focusing on what from forever can provide that lifestyle. And that is none other than our incentives. So if you're at a point right now where what's driving you now is your needs, that's totally fine. You need to start now creating also your dreams. You need to start thinking about, in the next 2 to 5 years, where do I want to be with forever? In the next 2 to 5 years, maybe you don't want to be driving the car that you're driving. I can tell you, I don't want to be driving the car that I'm driving in the next 2 to 5 years, So you need to start recreating your vision and your dreams, because that's what will give you the push to say, okay, let me go for these incentives. Let me go for this. So to maximize the forever marketing plan, use the products, share the opportunity, be 4CC active. That's crucial, vital. Everybody that's listening here, make sure that you don't miss your 4CC. Be 4CC active. And then finally, go for incentives. So what are these forever incentives? And why did Forever come up with incentives? If you ask me, I would say Forever came up with incentives to help you dream bigger. Forever came up with incentives to challenge you not to settle for less. Forever came up with incentives. Some of the incentives are really icing on the cake, just to make your journey in Forever to be absolutely remarkable. So the incentives come in and they really add something big in your business. Now, what are these main incentives in Forever? The most important incentive, the number one incentive that I want to talk about is what we call Forever to Drive. Forever to Drive, or rather we sometimes call it car plan. Forever to Drive. Now, Forever to Drive is an incentive which comes in 3 levels. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. Now, in order for you to qualify for level 1, you need to do 50 cc's on month 1, 100 cc's on month 2, and 150 cc's on mine 3. If you'll do this, you'll qualify for Forever to Drive level 1, and that will entitle you to getting $400 every month for the next 3 years on top of your bonus. So as a matter of fact, when you receive your bonus recap, you'll see all the percentages from your team, and they'll show you, okay, this is the total amount from your team. And then there'll be another line there showing Forever to Drive, $400. Now, if you go below 150, let's pay attention here. If you go below 150, you're not gonna get $400. You'll get a fraction of $400. So for you to have the constant $400 each and every month for the next 3 years, smash your 150 each and every month. Now, if you go below maybe 150, you go and do 120, maybe instead of $400, you get $380. I mean, it is still something, absolutely something. And then we've got level 2. Level 2 is 75 cc's, 150 cc's, and then 225 cc's. And that will give you $600. And then we've got level 3, which is 100, 200, 300 cc's. That will give you $800. Now, let me give you a tip. If you want to qualify for level 1, let me give you a tip. If you want to qualify for level 1, the most sure way for you to qualify for level 1, and here I'm talking to people that do not have, they've not already built huge teams. No, I'm talking to someone that has just started and wants to go for Forever to Drive. If you want to go for Forever to Drive, make sure you've got at least 2 lines or 2 legs that are growing together. When these 2 legs are growing together, when they are hitting manager, if you have 2 legs growing together, by the time they hit manager, you will definitely achieve your Kaplan. You'll definitely achieve your Forever to Drive. So if you only have 1 leg going manager, you might manage the 100 cc's, but most of the times you'll fail to do the 150. But if you have 2 legs going up, fantastic, you can do it. Now, after you've built a huge team, you know, eventually you'll find these cc's, they come, you know, automatically without even thinking. We qualify, when I say we, it's me and my wife, we qualify Forever to Drive level 3. It's like it comes automatically. You know, when it ends after 3 years, we requalify without even knowing. Of course, the system will tell us, but, you know, we don't really put an effort, a crazy effort saying, how can we qualify for that? Why? Because the team is already there. But as you are going for it for the first time, you know, work with at least 2 legs. If you can get 2 legs growing, you can definitely smash Forever to Drive level 1. And that extra $400, I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. $400 on top of what you get paid on monthly basis from the effort of your team. That is amazing. If I put it in kwacha, that's an extra 6,000 kwacha. That's an extra 400,000 Rwandan francs. So it's good money. It's good money. And Forever to Drive, honestly, is an incentive that once you achieve that one, you have proven that you have got a huge team, and it puts you in place for you to be able to qualify for much bigger incentives. Now, let's talk about another incentive, which we call Global Rally. Global Rally. Now, Global Rally, a rally is simply, you know, a rally, we know we meet up for fun, we have fun, we learn, it's amazing. Like the one we are going for Abu Dhabi, the Global Rally. In the past, long time ago, when we joined the business, we did not have Global Rally. What we had was called Super Rally. So every year, it was in August, we would go to America. Every year, it was only America, 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 America. And I think they changed that in 2012. And they said, now, instead of calling it Super Rally, we'll call it Global Rally. And what we'll be doing with the Global Rally, we'll be going different countries every year. So you can imagine since 2013, and then when they launched Global Rally, the first Global Rally happened in Hawaii. So we went to Hawaii. You can imagine Hawaii. Now think about this, you know, this year in few weeks, as a matter of fact, maybe 2.5 weeks, we are going to Abu Dhabi. Everything paid for by Forever, pocket money included. Can you imagine? Pocket money included, you know, pocket money, meals money, everything is there. And yet everything is paid for, and yet you get a crazy pocket money, you know, and the pocket money increases depending on the number of CCs that you do. Next year, Global Rally, we are going to Bali. We are going to Bali. After Bali, I don't know which other country will go. So every year you have an opportunity to qualify for Global Rally. Now, how do you qualify for Global Rally? You qualify for Global Rally by doing 1,500 cc's. If you do 1,500 cc's from January until December, then we call you a Global Rally qualifier. But you can also do 2,500, or you can do 5,000. If you do 2,500 instead of 1,500, it means that you'll be given a bigger spending money, much more spending money. If you do 5,000 in Forever, you're called a Forever VIP. When you're a Forever VIP on the Global Rally, you won't queue. If you want to go buy something from the store, you won't queue. You'll go buy straight. But also, of course, the pocket money is much bigger. And also, when you're a Forever VIP, as the rally is going, they put an area where VIPs can go and take some snacks just to make sure that you're very comfortable, you know. So that's amazing. But also you can do 7,500 cc, 7.5K, of which you'll be part now of the global leadership team. The global leadership team is the elite team, most elite team in Forever, most elite team of FBOs, where they sit with the management and gives them ideas and plans on what to improve here and there. And being a GLT, guys, is something amazing. And I've experienced being a GLT, so I know the treatment is awesome. I mean, it's fantastic. When you qualify for the Global Rally, you'll be picked at the airport, of course. Now, when you're a GLT, you won't be picked, you know, with everybody else. There will be a serious luxurious car picking you. I remember in Singapore, when we arrived in Singapore, we were GLTs. We were picked by a serious Mercedes-Benz S-Class. And the pocket money when you're a GLT is crazy. The room that you'll be put in will definitely be different. And it doesn't end there. You can also be a 12.5K, which means you'll be called an EGLT, Executive GLT. So this is like 12,500. That means this is someone who is doing more than 1,000 cc's a month, more than 1,000 cc's a month. It's crazy money. And it doesn't end there. You can go and become a 20K qualifier. If you're a 20K, if you do 20K, you know how much is your pocket money when you do 20,000 cc's? Your pocket money when you go for the rally is $20,000. So you can imagine $20,000 to spend for 1 week. And yet your hotel is paid for, everything is paid for. Now, when you're smashing Global Rally, when you're going for Global Rally, almost all the times, if you will smash Global Rally, that year, the year that you did 1,500 cc's, you will make about 42 million Rwandan francs, or 625,000 kwacha. This is the money that you can expect to make if you will qualify for Global Rally. Now, that's why I'm saying when you start to go for incentives, you need to think bigger now. When you're going for incentives, you can't settle for my needs. You know, you can't settle for how can I just pay off the debts, you know, because now you have the potential to make a lot more than just paying off the debts. And that's the beauty about Forever incentives. They open up another bigger door for you so that you can go for the big things. Absolutely amazing, the Global Rally. Now let's go to another incentive called Chairman's Bonus. How and what are you supposed to do to get your Chairman's Bonus check? And Chairman's Bonus, let me say this very clearly, is the biggest Forever incentive. Chairman's Bonus is the biggest Forever incentive. And Chairman's Bonus also comes in levels. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And for the sake of this training, I'm going to talk about Chairman's Bonus level 1, because that is something you can work for to qualify next year. I mean, 2023. If you're watching this training, if you're watching a recording and this is 2022, you can qualify this next year, 2023. What does it take to qualify for Chairman's Bonus? Qualification begins in January, ends in December. And what you're supposed to do is to do 700 cc's, personal and non-manager, meaning all the cc's that you're going to do yourself, plus all the cc's done by everybody in your team who is not yet a manager. So you need to do a total of 700, January to December. And out of those 700, at least 150 should be new. Now, what are new cc's? New cc's are the cc's that come from the people and their teams that join the business in that particular year. That's what we call new CC. So all the people that joined between January and December, all the CCs that they will do before they get to manager will count to the new CCs. But even more, anybody that's in your business who is less than 1 year, in the business will count to your new CCs. Anybody who is in the business less than 1 year will count to your new CCs until they become managers. Once they become manager, it won't continue to count anymore. And you don't have to worry about how do I track all these things. You know, with FLP 360, you can track all the incentives. You just log into FLP 360 and you can see where you are on Forever to Drive, where you are on Global Rally, where you are on Chairman's Bonus, and so forth and so forth. Now, also, for you to qualify for Chairman's Bonus, you also need to have a manager in your team who will do 600 CCs. A manager in your team who will do 600 CCs. And also, to be a Chairman's Bonus qualifier, you also need to qualify for Forever to Drive. So one of the reasons why you will put a goal to be a Forever to Drive qualifier, you know, is not just the $400 or the 600 or the 800, but actually the Forever to Drive is your ticket for you to qualify for Chairman's Bonus. Without Forever to Drive, you can't qualify for Chairman's Bonus. Now, let me share a tip here. If you want to go for Chairman's Bonus, let's say next year, one of the most important things to do is to make sure that you create 2 managers this year. For you to be on the safe side, create 2 managers. If you only create 1 manager, then you'll be fully depending on 1 person. If anything happens to that 1 person, you'll miss your qualification. So to be on the safest side, create 2 managers. So if you want to go for Chairman's Bonus next year, then this year put a goal to create 2 managers. And they don't have to be separate lines. Even if they're 1 line, it's okay, because you just need to have 1 manager in your team that will do 600 CCs. Forever to Drive, you can qualify for it anytime. So I would rather put focus on creating those 2 managers a year before than qualifying for Forever to Drive a year before. Of course, if you can qualify for Forever to Drive a year before, then you are well structured for Chairman's Bonus, which is fantastic and awesome. But worst comes to worst, make sure you have created at least 1 manager a year before. That way you'll be very, very well on track. And the money that you can expect to make if you will qualify for Chairman's Bonus level 1, about 35 million Rwandan francs and about 500,000 kwacha. Now you might say, okay, Enos, you say Chairman's Bonus is the biggest incentive. Well, I've seen in Global Rally, if someone qualifies for Global Rally, will get 42 million Rwandan francs and over 600,000 Zambian kwacha. How are you saying now Chairman's Bonus being the biggest incentive? Well, Chairman's Bonus is the biggest incentive because it does not end at level 1. If you will qualify for Chairman's Bonus level 3, if you will qualify, which is actually the biggest goal for you, is to get to Chairman's Bonus level 3. If you will qualify for Chairman's Bonus level 3, if I put it in Rwandan francs, that means the year that you're going to qualify for Chairman's Bonus level 3, let's get this figure correctly, you are going to make, let me actually type it as well. In Rwandan francs, if you will qualify for Chairman's Bonus level 3, you are going to make not less than 330 million Rwandan francs in that particular year. Now that is some crazy money. That is some crazy money. And if I put it in kwacha, about 5 million kwacha, 5 million kwacha, if you will qualify for Chairman's Bonus level 3. So that's crazy money. That's big money. And that's why we say Chairman's Bonus is at the ultimate incentive. At the end of the day, what you want to achieve is Chairman's Bonus level 3. Now, if Chairman's Bonus level 3 is possible for you, tell me, don't you think you have a right to have dreams of owning a luxurious car? Don't you think if you make such money in a year, don't you think you have a right to say, I'm going to own a mansion? You have the right to do all of those things. And all those are the possibilities. All those are the possibilities. And they're there for you, waiting for you. So we can definitely go for it. We can definitely achieve it. So Chairman's Bonus, that has to go into your plans. Now, let me go and talk about now the most important incentive in Forever. This is the most important. As a matter of fact, Rex himself said, if you want to build a big and long-term business, understand those two things, a big and long-term. You can build a big business and then it cripples in 2 years, 3 years. You don't want that. You can build a long-term business, but it is small. You don't want that. But if you want to build a big and long-term business, then what you have to do is teach ego, coach ego, and be an ego. Teach ego, coach ego, and be an ego. And today we're going to teach ego. When you start to work on ego, we'll coach you how you can be an ego manager. Now, if you take ego manager as your must to achieve incentive, you can start planning on how you can make sure you achieve ego manager. You know, ego manager comes in with lots and lots of benefits. First of all, when you're working towards your ego manager, it pushes you to go an extra mile. It pushes you to touch every area of your business such that it helps you to build the business in the right way. But also, one of the things that I love about ego manager is the recognition you get. You know, last year, of course, people could not travel, and Forever sent humongous boxes, which were gifts for the ego managers. And of course, they were also sent money. They were sent money, but they were also sent humongous boxes. Well, when you know you are an ego manager, the way you walk, even when you enter the product center and you know that I'm an ego manager, I'm telling you, the way you walk is different. The way you walk is different when you know you are an ego manager. An ego manager gives you a global respect. Globally, you'll be respected when you achieve ego manager. If you go anywhere in the Forever office, anywhere in the world, and say, I'm an ego manager, trust me, everybody will say, okay, let's attend this ego manager very, very well. So the recognition is amazing. But here's the catch. Not a catch. I mean, here's the icing on the cake. When you are going for ego manager, it prepares you and your business to go for chairman's bonus. Now, let me take you back a little bit on chairman's bonus. Chairman's bonus, if you remember, you needed to have a manager in your team that will do 600 cc's, chairman's bonus. Now, ego manager requires you to do 720 cc's. So if you will be ego manager, your team will want to be ego managers. When they are going for ego manager, almost automatically you will achieve your chairman's bonus. You won't have to push them and say, hey, can you please do your 600 so that I can call for it for chairman's bonus? No. All you need to do is to get them focused on ego manager. And again, one of the beauty of ego manager is an incentive that it is it is so realistic, and it is so achievable for most people, because it only requires an average of 60 cc's. And that is more or less the cc's that any manager, when you are getting to manager, you most likely did almost the 60 cc's. So then ego manager is something that you know, I can achieve it. I can smash this ego manager. Absolutely amazing. And of course, if you qualify for ego manager, you will get a trip. And the places that Forever takes you when you qualify for ego manager are simply exotic. This year in October, we are going to Cancun, Mexico. Everything paid for. Cancun, Mexico. I know next year, and they are going to announce very soon, where are we going next year? So that when the new ego manager, which is starting in May, when it starts, you know exactly why you need to work like crazy to go for ego manager. And ego manager is an incentive that even if you are an assistant supervisor right now, or you are a supervisor, you can still achieve this coming ego manager. I mean, this one, the one which is starting in few days, you can achieve that. All you need to do is to get to manager very, very fast. And when you achieve ego manager, when you're going for ego manager, you will experience your bonus increasing. Ask any ego manager. Any ego manager will tell you they made more money when they were going for ego manager than when they were not going for ego manager. As a matter of fact, ego managers normally make about twice what an average manager makes. Ego managers, they make twice what an average manager makes. So imagine the way we get so excited with getting to manager and the money you can make when you're a manager. Now think about this. Ego manager will give you twice of that. Isn't that awesome? Twice of that, plus the recognition, plus the trip, plus you get a nice pin You know, when you're having that pin on you, you know, walking around with that pin on you, absolutely amazing, guys. Let's go for Ego Manager. Now, what are the qualifications? The criteria? Ego Manager begins in May and ends in April. So from 1st May up to 30th of April. So 1st May 2022 up to 30th April 2023. And I know you might be listening to me right now and you're an assistant supervisor. I can tell you, you can choose to be crazy. You will need to be crazy. You can choose to be crazy and smash this Ego Manager, which is going to begin in what? In 10 days. 10 days to the new Ego Manager, guys. Can you imagine that? 10 days to the new Ego Managers. And then what you need to do also is be active, of course. Be 4CC active. And the CCs that we count when you're going for Ego Manager will start to count after you have achieved manager. So you have to make sure you achieve manager. And you also have to be leadership bonus qualified. Leadership bonus, it means don't go below 12 CCs. Of course, if you're going for Ego Manager, we don't expect you to go below 12 CCs because Ego Manager is pushing you to go for 60 CCs a month. So go for that. Now, this is what you need to do to achieve Ego Manager. You need to do a total of 720 CCs, 720. And out of those, 100 CCs should be new. 720 total and 100 CCs should be new. What are new CCs? New CCs are all the CCs brought in by people and their teams that joined from the time the qualification began, which will be May. But the good thing is, even those that joined before May, the people that you are recruiting this month will also contribute to the 100 CCs new, because the new CCs will also look at anybody who is less than 1 year in the business and is not yet a manager. Isn't that amazing? So 60 CCs on monthly basis. If you divide that 60 CCs on monthly basis. And then another criteria is you need to develop 2 new supervisor lines. 2 new supervisor lines. Now, let me share a tip here, guys, because I know some of you listening want to go for Ego Manager. You will be surprised, but a number of people struggle with creating these 2 new supervisors. And I know why they struggle. Not because it's difficult. I can tell you, it's damn easy to create 2 supervisors in a whole year. But it is almost impossible to create 2 new supervisors if you want to be thinking about them from day 1 to day 365. And let me also remind you on what it takes to create a supervisor. If you want to have the assurance that I'm going to create a supervisor, you need to recruit 5 people. If you recruit 5 assistant supervisors, chances, 90% chances, one of those assistant supervisors will be supervisor. So if I want to create 2 supervisor lines, in my mind, I need to challenge myself to recruit 10 assistant supervisors. 10 assistant supervisors. Out of those 10 assistant supervisors, I know for a fact I won't miss 2. That will be Ego Managers. That will be, that will be supervisor. I'm so excited with Ego Manager, I'm telling you. Now, those are criteria for someone who is a manager. If you're a senior manager, you need to be ego and you need to have at least 1 person in your team who is an Ego Manager. Of course, that means more money for you. If you're a soaring manager, you need to be Ego Manager and you need to have 3 lines of Ego Managers. If you're Sapphire, you need to have 6 lines of Ego Managers. If you're Diamond Sapphire, you need to have 10 lines. If you're Diamond, you need to have 15 lines. Now, when you are Sapphire or Diamond Ego Manager, Forever allows you to qualify for Ego in a level below. Meaning, if I am Sapphire Manager, I can qualify for Ego as Soaring Ego. I want to be called Sapphire Ego Manager. My level will be in the business, I'm Sapphire, but when it comes to Ego, I'm Soaring Ego Manager. And guess what? Even if I qualify as a Soaring Ego Manager, I will still get the trip, I'll still get my pin, I'll still get the recognition, I'll still get everything. But of course, if you manage to create 6 lines of egos, oh my gosh, I don't even want to imagine that. You know, that's my goal for this year anyways, to be Sapphire Ego Manager. It's going to be hectic, tough, hard work, but so crazily worth it. So you can imagine the way Ego Manager is there to help you. But also, if you want to move up the marketing plan, you want to be a senior manager, there are 2 ways to be a senior manager. The first way is create 2 managers directly to you. The second way is you become an ego and create an ego in your team. If you create an ego in your team, straight away, you're a senior manager. If you want to be soaring manager, there are two ways. Have 5 lines of managers directly to you or 3 lines of egos. So I hope you're seeing the way by focusing on ego manager, it opens up everything. By focusing on ego manager, it opens up you moving up the marketing plan. If you remember week 2, I talked about how important it is for you to be a Sapphire manager. If you remember the gem bonus, that extra 1%, which can give you more than $2,000 a month by just becoming Sapphire manager, you know, that's an extra on top of what you could have gotten if you're not a Sapphire manager. Now, if you want to be Sapphire manager, the first way, create 9 managers directly to you. The second way, which will give you a lot more money, of course, have 6 lines of egos. Have 6 lines of egos. And that's why Rex said, if you want to build a big and a long-term business, you need to teach ego. So you need to teach ego to your teams, because ego manager begins every year in May. If you recruit someone today, start to introduce ego manager to them so that next year in May, they can go for ego manager. And that's why we always run a program of managers by April, managers by April. Why managers by April? So that we can help people achieve ego manager. So ego manager is vital. Ego manager is like the 4cc of the big money. 4cc gives you small money, right? Now, ego manager is like the 4cc for the big money. If everything is focused on ego manager, then everybody will go massively. And if a manager is not going for ego, I can tell you, that manager is probably not going to push as much. He's not going to bother much. He's not going to try and go an extra mile because the manager is not going for ego, most likely. Most likely. But if a manager going for ego, that manager will go an extra mile. Now, in order for you to achieve ego manager, remember I told you, you need to follow up on ego from day 1 to day 365. Day 1 to day 365. How are you going to be able to follow up? Do activities. Every day you need to be engaged in daily activities. But also, you need to be able to track your position in ego manager. And that's why you need to get on FLP 360, because there is nowhere you can check your ego manager status except on FLP 360. And I want to encourage each and everyone here to start using FLP 360. Don't wait until when you're a manager. Start using FLP 360. You know, I talked about it on Beginner Academy 1 and the features that come with it. It's absolutely powerful. So you need to track your ego manager. But again, if you want to go for ego manager, you need to work with your team. Work with your team. And when we talk about work with your team, I don't mean train your team. What I'm doing now is simply training, and this is easy. Work with your team means move with your team. Go do activities with your team. Arrange events with your team. That is working with your team. So work with your team. Crucial, vital. And also, you need to be focused. 365 days. If you ask me, what causes most people to fail achieve ego manager is maybe they started off nicely, and then 2-3 months pass where they're out of focus, and that's it, they're done. They lose ego manager. And sometimes the ego manager incentive begins and maybe you have not really connected to it. 2-3 months pass and that's it, you're done. Most of the times, once you lose focus for about 3 months, it is so difficult to get back the CCs that you have lost in those 3 months. So we need to be focused, 100% focused on ego manager. And if you do that, my dear brothers and sisters here, you will be an ego manager and you will enjoy being an ego manager. The honor, the recognition, the respect that comes with it is second to none. So let's go for ego manager, guys. Let's go for ego manager. You know, the qualification criteria is very simple, very clear, and we can smash them and the money will be good. If you achieve ego manager, you should be making at least 25 million Rwandan francs, which is about 375,000 kwacha. So ego manager begins in May. Maybe you feel like you cannot go for the current ego manager. Well, let me give you an advice. Even if you cannot go for the current ego manager, you need to plan. When am I going to start going for ego manager. You need to plan, because if you don't plan, it's not going to happen. You need to plan for it. If you don't plan, definitely you're going to miss out on that. And that's why I always encourage, develop a 1 to 3 years plan. Almost everywhere that I've gone and trained, I've talked to people about the importance of having a 3-year plan. And on the 3 years plan, on my 3 years plan, what I recommend is for you to make sure that you smash chairman's bonus on year 3. Year 3 maximum, you should smash chairman's bonus. Even if you've been in the business for more than 3 years and you've not smashed chairman's bonus, don't worry. You can start now. You can stay in the next 3 years. I want to make sure that I smash chairman's bonus. And if you do that, you're going to make a decent income. In the next 3 years, you will make not less than 70 million Rwandan francs. 70 million Rwandan francs in the next 3 years is good money. 70 million Rwandan francs. That's about more than 1 million kwacha in the next 3 years, if you go with that plan. And if you want to go with that plan, very, very simple. Year 1, make sure you get to manager. This year, 2022, my friend, do not make a mistake of you not smashing manager. You have to smash your manager this year. Go manager. And then year 2. So this year, the focus, the most important thing is go manager. And then we go to year 2. We go to year 2. What is it that you should focus on year 2? Develop 1 to 2 managers. Develop 1 to 2 managers. Now, why 1 to 2 managers? Remember, the chairman's bonus qualification requires you to have at least 1 manager in your team that will do 600 cc's. So if you develop 1 to 2 managers on year 2, when it comes to year 3, the year will begin while you are properly structured for chairman's bonus. But also on year 2, you will smash your ego manager. Now, by you becoming an ego manager on year 2, guess what? When it comes year 3, these 2 managers that you have created here, they will also believe they can be ego managers. So they will go for ego manager. And when they are going for ego manager, that means they will give you the 600 cc's that you need. And they will also be super happy because they'll be ego managers. And if they fall in love, if they marry this plan as well, they will also create managers in their team. So on their year 3, they're also going to go for chairman's bonus. So year 3 will be the year which you smash chairman's bonus, which means you're going to smash your forever to drive, and you are definitely going to have at least 1 ego in your team, because these 2 managers here, after seeing you being an ego, they will go ego. At least one of them will go ego, which will make you a senior manager, because you are an ego and you have an ego in your team. So that will make you a senior manager. So being a senior manager by having an ego in your team is far much better than just having 2 managers directly to you. And of course, you are going to smash your chairman's bonus. If we go with this plan, my friends, that means we are aiming to maximize the forever marketing plan. Now, the core and the most important, the biggest incentive in forever is chairman's bonus level 3. And in order for you to qualify for chairman's bonus level 3, you need to create 6 separate lines. 6 separate lines of chairman's bonus qualifiers. 6 separate lines of chairman's bonus qualifiers. That means if you start preaching this plan to your team, of course, not everybody will connect with this plan, because this is a plan for those that want big things from forever. Those that will connect with this plan, it means the first 3 years, you will qualify for chairman's bonus. After that, every year, you'll be having at least 1 new person qualifying for chairman's bonus. That means after 6 years, you'll have the potential of going for chairman's bonus level 3. So the crazy money that I mentioned, 330 million Rwandan francs, 5 million kwacha, that money can come in the next 9 years. Now, I know you're saying, Enos, I don't want to wait for 9 years. Well, I'm giving you a plan which is so realistic. You can do it faster, but I can tell you, you can give yourself a maximum of 9 years, and I know it is possible. I got to chairman's bonus level 3 in 8 years. So maybe you can do it faster. I got in 8 years. I know of people who go to chairman's bonus level 3 in 4 years. So you can do it faster, but you can give yourself a deadline of 9 years, a deadline of 9 years. And you can imagine if you're thinking that big about your business and you're having such long-term goals, you can imagine. So think about it. What is it that you want to go for? What is it that you want to go for? How far you want to go? How big you want to go? You just decide. You just decide. And if you know you are in the business to stay, then the time won't even matter. The most important thing is for you to maximize the time. The most important thing is for you to maximize the time. So this year, focus. Come rain, come sunshine, go smash that manager. And if you want to be crazy, go for ego manager. But come rain, come sunshine, next year, you must smash your ego manager. In 2024, you need to promise yourself that in 2024, I am going to be a chairman's bonus qualifier. I am going to smash chairman's bonus. And if you have that in your mind, if you keep that in your mind, then I know for a fact you can do it. And when you think about year one is focusing you on getting to manager. How can you get to manager? First of all, start the habit of never going below 5 cc's. You know, you need to take the big goal, the 3-year plan, and then you need to trim it down and connect with your 1-year goal. And then you need to take the 1-year goal and ask yourself, what is it that I should be focusing on monthly basis? If you're an assistant supervisor today, put yourself on a plan that you will never go below 5 cc's. But, and I'm going to put a but make sure every month you recruit 1 to 2 cc's. Every month, 1 to 2 cc's. If you are recruiting 1 to 2 cc's every month, then you'll start to have people joining in. Remember, out of 5 people that join, 1 will become a supervisor. And out of those supervisors that you create, definitely you're going to be able to get a manager. Now, how can you be able to focus in a monthly basis? Again, Forever takes it down. Forever takes it down to a weekly plan. And this, to me, is the core and the most important thing. And this is the one thing that most people, they choose to be blind when they think about their 7-day plan. They turn a deaf ear to it. They are a bit casual on their 7-day plan, and yet they're so committed to their 2, 3, 5-year goals. No, don't be just committed to your 2, 3, 5-year. You'd rather be super committed to your 7-day plan. And some of the key things that you need to have clarity on in the next 7 days. Number 1 is prospecting. Who are you talking to about the business in the next 7 days? You need to have clarity on that. What retailing activities are you going to do in the next 7 days? And what trainings and events are you going to be attending or learning in the next 7 days? So if you are, and you can see here, the place for the people you're introducing to the business is much bigger than the spot for putting in your retailing activities. Why? Because in order for you to grow your business, you need to have people joining into your team. So you need to plan and put in the activities. What is it that I'm supposed to do in order for me to make sure that I build my team? So let's put it back together now. So we have chairman's bonus that we want to achieve in 2024. And in 2022, we're going to focus on getting to manager. Or if you're crazy, you can go ego manager. And when I say crazy, I mean, I'm talking to the assistant supervisors. Year 2, which is 2023, you will be an ego manager, but you'll also create 1 to 2 managers. That way, when it comes to year 3, one of those managers will definitely want to be egos. That will make you a senior manager on year 3. Will make you a senior manager on year 3, and it will definitely make you achieve chairman's bonus. Now, when you're having clarity, at least in the next 2-3 years, it gives you the reason to work extra hard now. One of the things that gives me the energy to push harder is when I think about the next 2 to 5 years. When I think about the crazy money that's coming ahead, I say, okay, Enos, you might be tired, but you gotta stretch. You need to push. You might need to wake up super early in the morning after having a very late night sometimes. You need to push when I think about what I'm going for in the next 2 to 5 years, not just what I'm going for in the next few months, 2 to 5 years. So guys, let us think big. Let us maximize on this. Let us focus on this. Let us remember the 1 to 3 years plan. Get to manager. Year 2, develop 1 to 2 managers. Be an ego manager. Let us remember this plan. Year 3, forever to drive, senior manager by creating an ego, and of course, chairman's bonus. When you think in this way, when you think in 3 years, then you'll definitely realize that it is possible. Now, in order for all those things to happen, you need to build a team. And I'm going to share some tips on building a team. Number one, you need to have integrity. Without integrity, you'll not be able to build a team. I am saddened sometimes by FBOs who lack integrity. FBOs that, sometimes, you are poaching other people's downlines. There is no integrity. You can't build a team like that. Some FBOs even go an extra mile, taking money from their teams. I mean, how do you do that? And the company policy will help you to make sure that you have got integrity. So have integrity. That's the only way you can build a team. Cultivate good relationships. Make sure you've got good relationships with your team. And if you don't have good relationships with your team, then they will not listen to you. If they don't listen to you, that means they cannot work with you, then everything is messed up. Once relationships are messed up, everything is messed up. And one of the things that causes relationship to be messed up is when someone in your team feels like you have used them. And how do you know that you are using someone? Because sometimes as sponsors, we are using our downlines unknowingly. And for me, I have this rule. I will never ever tell someone in my team to do something that will benefit me more than it will benefit them. Let me say that again. I will never tell somebody in my team to do something that will benefit me more than it will benefit them. If they have to buy 2 cc's to achieve 4 cc's, it has to be benefiting them more than it's benefiting me. If I will manipulate them to do that so that I can get what I want, they will do it because they are not experienced. But in a short time, they will understand the system and they will know, okay, I can trust my leader. And once you know what happens when you lose trust, once you lose trust, it's very difficult to build it back, to build it up. You'd rather, quarrel with someone than lose trust. So relationships, but also in order for you to build a team, you have got to be hungry as a leader. As a leader, you've got to be hungry. You've got to say, I want to go the whole way. You've got to say, no, I'm not going to settle at manager. I'm not going to settle at getting $1,000 a month. I'm not going to settle there. I'm going to go for the gold. I'm going to go the whole way. I'm going to go for the big things. If you are not hungry, too bad for your team, because your team can only lead itself. But if you are hungry, your team can benefit from that. You've got to be hungry. Les Brown said it. You have got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry. Don't miss out on that. But also have control of where you are and where you are going. Don't run your business in the dark. And one of the things that will help you have very good control of your team. By control, I don't mean controlling them. No, I mean knowing and managing where you are and how you want to move forward. Is by doing volume mapping. And this is something that I normally ask people every month, have you done your volume mapping? Because without doing a volume mapping, you'll not be able to build a big team. Why? Because on the volume mapping, that's when you're going to draw out and identify everybody in your team, what they did the previous month, and what is their potential for this month. Without doing that, you are definitely going to miss out on a lot of potential. So make sure you're doing volume mapping every month. And actually, like when we are entering the final week of the month, we normally do volume mapping sometimes even every day, because you want to achieve your goal. And somewhere along the way, people in your team will be losing focus. So you need to replace them with other people that will still be focused. So build your team, have integrity, cultivate good relationships, and one of the things you can do to have good relationship with your team is have fun with them. Go out with them, have lunch with them, have dinners with them, go movies with them. I mean, all those are things that cultivate relationship. so that the business, when they're working with you, is not just work, see. No, it has to be fun also working with you. My dear brothers and sisters, when you're working with your team, remember to keep the focus on your income producing activities. And I will advise you, take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna send this as well around, because this is a set of activities that will guarantee you will not miss your 4 to 5 CCs on monthly basis. So put in your retailing activities. How many product launches? PAP, are you doing PAP? What are you doing with regular customers? What are you doing with Facebook ads? What are you doing with products one-to-ones? Are you promoting C9? So you need to have a retailing activity. You need to be engaged in income producing activities. And then you need to be engaged also in recruiting activities. And recruiting starts with, first, who do you know list? List down the people that you want to contact. And then now you start to contact the people. And every day you contact them, you'll be, dashing out some of the names of people that are not showing interest. Then you'll be adding new names. What are some of the ways that you can use to get new numbers? Contact marketing. Make prospecting cards. I use prospecting cards as well, and business cards as well. You can run adverts on social media. You can run advert, sometimes on supermarkets, there's like a board where you can put adverts. I do that sometimes, and I get people calling me. Sometimes I do that for products, especially when we're doing a C9 challenge or something. I'll always put up like a C9 poster there before and after, and saying that we are running a challenge here and there, Attend online events, online prospecting. I know we've trained and talked a lot about online prospecting. And if you go online, you can see, you can get trainings on online prospecting. And if you're doing online prospecting, we suggest send at least 10 to 20 messages on a daily basis. If you will be fully engaged in these activities, you will definitely smash your 5 CCs. And when you smash your 5 CCs, then the people you're bringing in, you can also coach them how you do it. And that way your team will grow very, very, very fast. So let's go for it, guys. Let's go for manager. As a matter of fact, let's go for manager and beyond. Let's think about how manager position will open up all these incentives, because all these incentives, you can only get them when you achieve manager position. So those who are not yet managers, and I know lots of you listening to me, you're not yet managers. Eyes on the ball, guys. Keep the focus on manager. And I know we're going to be in Zambia and Rwanda in August. I hope my memory is correct. I know we're going to be there in August for a success day. Why don't you plan on how you can smash manager before then? Or at least on that month, finish up your manager. Go on that stage. And if it's possible, then why not? Let's go for it. I'm sure we can do it. I'm sure we can manage that 100%. With that said, amazing people, I want to thank you so much for listening to this training, and stay tuned for week 4. Now, I've gotten people asking me about the recording for week 1, 2, and probably this 3 as well.